Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, Organized with Joy. In today's video, I am doing another challenge. If you saw it last month, I started this kind of challenge group with a group of ladies here on YouTube, and we're all choosing a different challenge each month. I love this idea because I think it's really important to challenge yourself to do hard things. And this month, I am challenging myself to do Whole30. So I have actually done this diet several times before, but it's been quite a while since I last did it. I know that I have not done it since COVID happened, so it's long overdue. But I love doing this diet because it really resets my body and resets my mindset about food. So if you're not familiar with Whole30, you can certainly look up the details on it, but it's basically no sugar, no grains, and focusing more on eating whole foods, eating all natural foods, and eating a lot of protein and a lot of fiber and vegetables. So this month I am in the midst of that. This is actually day 3, but I'm just now getting to this introduction. But I am ready and excited to do this challenge. Honestly, day 3, it's already pretty hard. I'm definitely missing my sugar for sure, but I will kind of chronicle how things progress as the month goes on. This is day 1, breakfast 1. I thought I would share this just because this is probably going to be pretty typical. I certainly won't share every day, in part because it might look almost exactly like this. I am still drinking my protein shake, however I'm using almond milk instead of oat milk. I believe it's pea protein, which I think peas are technically okay on Whole30, but either way I don't think it's completely Whole30, but I decided to continue to drink my protein shake just because it is healthy, and I did substitute the oat milk. And then this is just eggs with some sauteed onions and spinach, and then I topped it with some fresh tomatoes. Usually when I eat this, I love fresh goat cheese, but dairy is not on the menu for Whole30. So this is what I'm having for breakfast. This is something else that I like to make on Whole30 for, well, it's kind of a brunch. I eat breakfast around 11 or 12 because I do intermittent fasting. But I'll just put a can of tuna with half of an avocado and then just a little bit of this Primal Kitchen mayo, and then some onions, pickles, and spices. I used basil and dill. I might throw some salt and pepper in there too. Mix that up. Oftentimes I'll eat it on arugula or spinach, or you could just eat it with a fork right out of the bowl. But this is a really yummy and good for Whole30. Okay, I feel like I need to do an update. It is day 3 and I am struggling. So obviously sugar is the hardest thing for me. My afternoon coffees in particular, I'm really noticing the lack of sugar in my afternoon coffees because I usually put some sort of sweetener in my afternoon coffee. But I'm also hungry all the time and I feel kind of irritable, and it's probably because of feeling hungry. Today I was trying to get all of my fall decor put up, but I was so exhausted and I had like other responsibilities, family stuff that I needed to take care of today. But it's 5 p.m. It's a Friday. All I want is to just sit down with a glass of wine, but can't do that. I am drinking this which is technically not Whole30 approved because it does have stevia in it. But I had purchased these at Costco a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't want them to go bad. Well, okay, technically they don't go bad until November. Okay, I just need some sort of sugar, I guess. So I guess this is cheating. But this is really good for your gut health. It has lemon and ginger. And then I'm also having just a few pistachios as well. We don't eat dinner until 7 p.m. and I just feel like there's no possible way I can make it till 7, including having to stand and cook our dinner. So that is where I'm at, day 3. I am feeling very cranky and tired today. And again, I think it's the lack of sugar, more than likely. But I will check in again whenever I feel like I have some sort of update. But that is where I am right now today. Okay, it is day 6. I was not gonna give an update today just because I didn't have time to take a shower after my run this morning. So I didn't really want to be in front of the camera, but I decided I had some things on my mind that I wanted to share and just give you a little bit of an update. So the main thing I've noticed is the afternoon coffee, which I think I've already mentioned. I don't use sugar in my afternoon coffee right now because of Whole30, but usually I do, and I really notice the difference. It doesn't even really taste like coffee. It just tastes kind of watered down or something. I don't know. I don't drink sugar in my coffee in the mornings, so maybe it's just because I've just woken up and it's the first thing I drink, so it doesn't taste as bad in the mornings, but in the afternoons I'm really noticing it. I also in general I think crave sugar late afternoons. That might be a time when I ordinarily would get a snack, and nothing like, not like I'm grabbing like chocolate and Oreos and junk like that, but I would maybe gravitate towards something sweet like a protein bar or something like that. And even the things that are Whole30 approved and quasi-sweet don't really satisfy my sweet tooth. I know sometimes I've been still trying to satisfy that sweet tooth with like fruit. I love apples with almond butter as a snack on Whole30, and I also like the RX bars. Both of them, the RX bars have dates in them, and then obviously the apples do have some natural sugar. Both are Whole30 approved, but I am noticing that I'm just trying to replace that sugar with whatever is Whole30 approved. And so I'm noticing I still have that sweet tooth. I still want to satisfy that. So I've just been thinking about that and how I need to think through, you know, why I get that sweet tooth. Is it just boredom, or late afternoon, it's like I've been working all day and I want a treat or something like that, and just kind of thinking through if that's really a healthy way to view food or sweets in general. I'm just thinking through all of that. So those are the things that I'm thinking about today on day 6. I actually have had fairly good energy. Surprisingly, I feel like in the past when I've done this, the first week has been really bad with just low energy, but I feel like I've been fairly okay on the energy levels, so that is the good news. But I will check in with you again sometime later. Okay, I kind of feel like I'm just showing random food, random meals, but this is what I'm eating for brunch, I guess. It's my first meal of the day. And I had some leftover taco meat, some leftover kale that I just sauteed with some red onion. And then I did throw this spicy cashew butter dressing. There's only one thing in this dressing that is kind of questionable, and it's like organic coconut nectar or something like that. So it does have let me see. It has 1 gram of sugar. You probably can't see that, but anyway, it does have 1 gram of sugar, probably from that coconut nectar. I'm not sure, that's probably not Whole30 approved, but this is what I'm having for lunch. Okay, I needed to do an update today. Today is September 8th, so it's the 8th day of Whole30, and yesterday I started feeling really tired. And I thought that I would feel tired before day 7, but I really didn't. It was just yesterday that I started really feeling tired. Like the kind of tired where you feel like everything you're doing, you're like walking through mud to get it done. And I'm feeling this same way today. Also, still wanting sugar, like especially my coffee. I feel like every time I give an update, I talk about how I don't have sugar in my afternoon coffee and I can't drink the pumpkin cream cold brew. So today is a little bit of a struggle and I'm just pushing through, and this is another week that is really busy for me, so I'm just trying to get things done but feeling very tired. So we'll see how the rest of the week goes. Hopefully within the next couple of days I start really getting that energy as my body adjusts to running on protein instead of running on carbohydrates and sugar. So we'll see. Hey friends, it's day 10 over here in Whole30 land, and I'm definitely feeling better today. Yesterday I kind of felt like I was hitting a stride where I had some energy and motivation, so I got over that hump of feeling super tired, and today I'm definitely feeling very energetic. I will say, I think I've heard that day 10 or 11 is about the place where a lot of people give up on this challenge, but if you know me at all, I don't give up easily. So I likely will not be giving up on this challenge. I also wanted to give an update about my afternoon coffee. I know that I've been talking about it a lot, and I think I might have found the perfect recipe for a fake pumpkin cream cold brew. And it's certainly not as good as the original, but I'm feeling like it is satisfying enough, and it's not quite as bland as I have been feeling like my afternoon coffee is. I guess we are on the upswing here on day 10, and that is my update for today. This is another common lunch that I'll have. It's just spinach with tomatoes and red pepper or red onion, and then a hard-boiled egg, and then I just make my own salad dressing with oil and vinegar and then just some spices and garlic. But it's pretty easy to throw together and Whole30 approved and healthy. Hello friends, I thought I would pop in for an update. It is day 13 and I'm definitely feeling pretty amazing today. I do have to say, over the weekend I was not feeling well at all, but it's because I ended up getting a UTI. Sorry for TMI, but I ended up going to urgent care yesterday, which was a Sunday. And so I got antibiotics and I'm already starting to feel better today, but I feel like having that kind of muddied how I felt physically from the way I've been eating versus just being sick. So that was kind of a bummer. But I'm already feeling lots better today just being on the antibiotics. And I was gonna share a story about last night. One of the reasons I like to do Whole30 is to reset my mindset about food. And I had gotten in this really bad habit during COVID of making dessert like every single day. Like my 2 older kids came home from college, and I guess having all of my kids home, it was like reminiscent of times when they were younger. And so I ended up, in this habit of we had dessert every single night. And I really wanted to get away from that habit. And I'm still struggling with wanting things that are sweet, like especially after I eat a meal. And I've been pretty good at, not doing any sort of, I guess, replacement. But last night my daughter and I were gonna watch a TV show after we ate dinner, and she was getting a dessert, and so I ended up getting some apples with almond butter, which is totally fine on Whole30, but I was realizing in that moment that I was just doing a replacement, that I still wanted something sweet after dinner. So I really would like to stick to my guns on not eating sweet things after dinner, but instead just enjoying the dinner and being satisfied, like I guess mentally or emotionally, with the dinner, and not having to have a dessert afterwards, because that was definitely one of the habits that I really wanted to break with doing this Whole30. But I am glad to be on the upswing and feeling better, and hopefully within the next couple of days I'll get what's called tiger blood. If you've done any research on Whole30, you know what that is. But basically around day 15, you're supposed to have this like really amazing energy that maybe you've never had before, or it's just out of the ordinary for you. So I'm excited about that, and hopefully kind of walking through the last half of Whole30 will remind me how amazing it is to feel good, and to remind me that it is worth eating healthy foods to feel this way. Because I think sometimes in the moment when I just want that glass of wine, or I just want that bowl of popcorn, or whatever it is that I'm craving at the moment, I think, well, just this one thing isn't bad, but it adds up and adds up to make you feel bad. So hopefully this will be a reset for me, and I will appreciate feeling healthy and strong, and want to keep moving forward even after I'm done with Whole30, kind of creating some new healthier habits. Okay friends, I wanted to do a quick update today because today is day 15. I am halfway through Whole30. I'm just finishing up my shake here. I also had a salad along with my shake for, I guess, kind of a brunch. I think I mentioned I do intermittent fasting, so the first meal of the day is like around between 11 and 12, depending on my schedule for that day. But I did want to talk a little bit about my shake. I think I mentioned this. So I have been doing, it's a vegan protein shake. I have been doing that for probably 10 years, probably more than that, honestly. But I definitely consistently started doing protein shakes when I went gluten-free, dairy-free 10 years ago. I did go back and look at the ingredients in this shake because I was curious. I thought that it wasn't really Whole30, and technically it's not. The main protein source is pea protein, but it also does have rice protein. So rice is obviously a carb. So I think though the way that pea protein and rice protein works is that they kind of pull the protein out of the basic structure of the food. So I don't think it's like full on eating rice. It's just the rice protein. But in addition to that, it does have stevia as a sweetener, which stevia is supposed to be a no-no on Whole30. I also drink an electrolyte drink that has stevia in it, and I'm okay with those two things. Those are the only places that I get kind of artificial sweeteners, but I don't feel as bad about that as if I was actually eating some other sort of sweetener like honey or maple syrup or something like that. So I decided to go ahead and continue drinking the protein shake because it's just something that's part of my ritual, something that is just easy and fast to grab if I don't have time to prepare things. But I also wanted to talk about how I'm feeling, because I am definitely feeling very energetic, and it's not just physically energetic. I feel very mentally focused. I feel very sharp. I don't know how else to describe it. I also just feel like very motivated and creative, and I had this thought yesterday, like, why do I ever eat sugar? If I can feel this amazing all the time, why do I ever eat sugar? And the truth is, it's because it's hard to stay motivated constantly to not eat sugar. But I'm trying to come up with maybe rules, I guess, for the future when I do finish this Whole30, because I was telling my husband the other day, I am definitely the type of personality that is a rule follower. I like rules. I thrive under rules. And so I think that that's why Whole30 is not necessarily really hard for me per se. I mean, there are parts of it that are hard, but I'm very dedicated to things that have like boundaries and rules like this. It's just easy for me to know what I'm allowed to eat, what I'm not allowed to eat. So I need to figure out moving forward how I can give myself boundaries, give myself rules, with still having some flexibility and still allowing myself to eat things that maybe aren't as healthy for my body, but I think it's okay to every once in a while eat things like that. So today I was thinking about how on Whole30, I frequently want something sweet after dinner, and this is probably from a habit that I created of eating dessert after dinner, but I have found that fruit really does satisfy my sweet tooth now. I think just being on it for 2 weeks now, my body is getting used to not having the sugar and not craving the sugar. I still kind of crave something sweet, but it's not like I'm craving Oreos. I'm just craving something sweet. So I wonder if moving forward into the future, I can choose fruit after dinner instead of having dessert. Another thing, or another idea that I had, is I already do kind of make my own desserts pretty frequently. I mean, we do every once in a while have things around the house that are pre-packaged, pre-made, but I do a lot of times make our own desserts. So I'm wondering if I can find recipes that don't have like a lot of just refined sugar. And the truth is, when I make baked goods, like, I don't actually own white sugar, and I have not owned white sugar for years and years. I have eaten mostly a whole food diet since I was pregnant with my middle son, who is 20 now, and I started buying like raw sugar. So I do that, but still, raw sugar and the organic brown sugar, they all still spike your blood sugar. So I'm wondering if I can find recipes that are sweetened, maybe with coconut sugar or maple syrup or agave. But I'm just trying to think through what I'm gonna do moving forward, because in the past, after I've done Whole30, I feel like it just becomes this slippery slope after I'm finished. After I'm finished, I feel really great. I say to myself, why do I eat sugar? I have good intentions to continue a similar diet with not as much sugar and not as much processed foods, and then somehow it's a slippery slope. So I'm just already thinking about what I'm going to do moving forward once I am done with these 30 days. Okay, so tonight for dinner we got takeout, and we got it at one of our favorite burger places here in Austin. I did do the burger on a lettuce, or it looks like, I forget, I think this is kale and lettuce mixed together. I did ask them to take the cheese off, but I probably am cheating with this sauce. This is their steak sauce, maybe even the onions. I don't know how they sauteed the onions. And then there's also, this is definitely cheating if I put this on there, but I'm okay with that. I feel like taking the cheese off was good. And I've got a bunch of greens with some high quality beef, so I'm okay with that. But this is what I'm having for dinner tonight. I do want to say, let it be known that I did not eat any of the fries, and there were some leftover from the shareable fry box that we got. There were leftover fries and I did not eat them, so I'm going to consider tonight a win anyway. Hey friends, so I wanted to give you a little update because a few days has passed. It is September 21st, so it is day 21 of Whole30, and the last couple of days have been a little bit rough, and I'll tell you why. It's because number one, I have not talked about this yet, but I off and on have had acid reflux, which has actually been a problem that I've had my entire life, and I have multiple food sensitivities and food allergens that cause this, and I actually am allergic to eggs. And if you follow along on Instagram, or maybe I even took some footage here for this video of me eating eggs, I definitely have been eating more eggs than I ordinarily do. And it's just because it's an easy protein and easy food to make for when you're on Whole30. But I do okay if I'm not eating eggs every single day. And I also find that I do better when I'm just eating egg whites. But I've been eating full eggs, and I've been eating them almost every day. And so on Sunday and Monday, so today's Tuesday, so the last couple of days, I decided to totally cut eggs out to see if that is what was causing my acid reflux, and in fact, that is what was causing it. So, I don't know, yesterday I just felt kind of frustrated, like bored with my food options, just not creative about what I'm eating. And yesterday I had lunch with friends, and we ate at a local salad place, which worked out well for Whole30, but I had planned to make salad for dinner as well. And so I just felt really bored yesterday because I felt like all I was eating is chicken, avocado, and leafy greens. And I feel like that has been like the main staples in my diet over the last 21 days. And so I was just feeling really tired of the food options. I ordinarily really like a lot of variety in my diet, and I was telling my girlfriends who are doing Whole30 with me, my YouTube gals, that I honestly am not even craving sugar anymore, but I am craving things that I just can't have that are healthy. Like, I just want oatmeal or quinoa or peanut butter. I just want these different foods that I haven't had in the last 21 days that are just not a part of this diet, that they're still healthy in my opinion. It's just not on this diet because it's low carb. So, but I did tell myself that yesterday I was telling myself I only have 10 more days. I can do 10 more days. This is not a big deal. So I'm sure that I will make it the next 10 days, but I just wanted to be real with how I've been feeling. Also, I have been feeling kind of tired the last couple of days, but I will tell you it might have to do with female hormones sort of situations going on. I won't give too much TMI, but that sometimes drains my energy, and so that's probably what's going on with my energy levels and why they're not as high as I was expecting them to be after being on a whole food diet for 21 days. So that is my update for today. I'll probably give at least a couple more updates. Okay, today is day 27. I have 3 more days left, and this is the point where you're like, can't it just be a whole 27? Like, does it have to be a whole 30? Yes, in my mind it does. I don't know if there's science behind doing the full 30 days, but in my mind I think it's just because I like to follow rules that I'm like, yes, I have to do the full 30 days. Definitely still feeling kind of bored with my food and feeling like I just don't know what to eat sometimes. I might be losing weight simply because sometimes I don't eat until I'm completely full, just because like I'm not like enjoying the food as much as I would if I weren't on Whole30. The other thing is I am thinking about what I'm doing moving forward. And so I was talking to my chiropractor on Friday, telling her that I was doing a Whole30. I knew that she was like into Whole30 or liked Whole30. But she was telling me about Eat Right for your blood type, which my sister told me about years and years and years ago. And I finally decided to get a blood type test kit to find out my blood type. And I've started doing research on that. And for my blood type in particular, a more vegetarian or vegan diet is better, which is interesting because I have never really liked meat. I do like a good hamburger every once in a while, but I am perfectly fine eating vegan or vegetarian. And prior to this diet, I was eating vegan probably 3 times a week, just because it's easier since my daughter is vegan to make dishes that just everybody can eat. The other thing is I've kind of wondered after doing some research on that Eat Right for your blood type if some of my acid reflux is due to the amount of meat that I've been eating. I don't particularly like meat anyway, and so I felt like I was just forcing myself to eat it, and I've kind of wondered if that maybe the eggs too, like I mentioned the other day, but also the amount of meat I'm eating, because usually I don't eat quite as much meat as I have been with this Whole30 diet. But moving forward, I definitely want to reincorporate vegan meals because I definitely miss those. I miss beans and lentils for sure. But in addition to that, I really do want to quit being lazy and making desserts that don't have so much sugar in them, like use natural sweeteners like agave or maple syrup instead of just sugar. I do like how this has helped me reset my mindset on food, and so I am glad that I did it, particularly with reducing my sugar cravings, which that was a major reason why I decided to do this. But I will check in one more time, either the last day or on October 1st to just wrap it up and give you my final thoughts. Well, friends, it is October 1st and I have made it the whole 30 days. I'm so excited to be done. I'm definitely glad I did this challenge. I feel like it for sure gave me the reset that I was looking for, just especially with regards to eating sugar or maybe some foods that just aren't quite as healthy for me. I did want to talk a little bit about metrics. I do not like focusing on how much I weigh or my measurements. I like to focus more on how I'm feeling. And this Whole30 diet, she definitely recommends not weighing yourself or measuring yourself during those 30 days, but instead to just focus on your relationship to food and how you're feeling. And so I did decide to measure and weigh myself prior to starting Whole30, and then I just did that last night to find out if I lost anything, and I was actually shocked. I'm glad that I chose to weigh and measure myself before and after. I don't usually do that, but I did that for this video because I know a lot of people like to know the metrics, and I was shocked. I actually lost around 5 or 6 pounds during this month. But what was more shocking was I lost 2 inches around my waist and 1 inch around my hips. I was definitely not expecting that. I could tell that my clothes were fitting a little bit differently, and I also felt like I just looked more lean or felt more lean, and that probably is just due to the amount of protein that I was intaking. That definitely helps with muscle repair and building muscles. But I just thought you might be interested in the metrics. I know a lot of people want to know how much weight you lost and what your measurements, how many inches you lost when you do diets like this. So I just thought I would share that piece as well. Well, that is all I have for this video. I hope it was motivating or inspiring to you to maybe do something that you find to be outside of your comfort zone, but will push you to maybe have a healthier outlook or a healthier lifestyle. But be sure to go check out the other ladies challenge videos as well. I will link them down in the description box below so that they're easy to find. But thank you so much for watching this video until the end, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.